Welcome back to Therapy Thursday. Today we're going to show you part one of a three-part video blog series on how we view the rehab for hamstring injuries, which is obviously one of the most common things that we see in a sports-based clinic. Now, obviously there's a big component inside the treatment room in terms of manual care and what have you, but what we can go through with our video series is specifically active care or the rehab approach that you're able to do on your own at home. So previously when we used to do these, and if you look back at some of our prior video blogs, you'll see that we used to be pretty segmented. We used to do, isometrics and then some heavier isotonic stuff and then return to play. Now we know that hamstring injuries and many muscle injuries are a bit more of a continuum, so we kind of blend the lines between them. So for our first phase, what we're going to go through are ensuring that the hamstring can contract well via isometric exercises, and as well some isotonic ones are just some movement-based exercises to sort of groove it before we throw some heavier stuff at it. So the easiest one to do at home in terms of isometrics where you need no equipment whatsoever is called a runner's curl. With that, you're going to mimic where your foot's about to hit the ground when you're running, which is about 30 degrees. If you have a TRX or something, that's great. I'm going to show you an alternative otherwise. But here, I'm mimicking my lengthening portion because that's where people actually injure their hamstring, and I'm going to pull back as hard as I can. So I'm going to get a very strong contraction on my hamstring here, and I'm going to try to hold that for upwards of 30 to 45 seconds, pulling as hard as I possibly can. Now, there's some research showing that that helps with pain, which is important, but for us, it's just our initial phase of loading, because if we look at stripping everything else away from any muscle-related injury, the way we get it better is progressively loading it. The alternative to that is the runner's curl on your back. Same basic position, about 30 degrees with my knee bend. So if you had a coffee table or an ottoman at home, I would just be flat like so, and I'd be pulling down as hard as I can. Not hard enough that my pelvis is lifting in the air, but nice and hard, trying to drive my heel down towards the ground, and you'll feel a similar type of contraction. Again, as hard as I can for about 30 to 45 seconds. It's okay to feel the pain up to about a 3 or 4 out of 10 with this one. So that might be our initial ones for isometric exercises. In addition, we would do some movement-based things. It can be as simple as a slow glute bridge coming into full extension and back down. If that feels too easy, we might do a single leg one. It's really dependent in terms of what the individual is able to tolerate. Our basic premise for when to actually progress somebody, or if we know we're providing enough load, is your pain response. We're looking for something to make it uncomfortable, but not painful. Our basic rule of thumb is about a 3 or 4 out of 10 of pain is okay during and up to 24 hours after. If you do more than that and the pain is too much, you've done too much. Once somebody's comfortable with these, we progress to phase 2. For that, I'm going to throw it forward to Dave.